What's up, motherfuckers? I just picked up my dog's medicine, his Xannies and his gabapentin. So I'm heading back from Oakdale to the house where I'll drop off his medicine since it needs to be refrigerated, and then me and Chew are gonna go put up flyers around town because I need money, motherfuckers. One day, I'll say if I get over 100 subscribers, maybe I'll set up a Patreon and figure out how that shit goes. Because, you know, I listen to The Amazing Atheist and Deep Fat Fried, like, damn near religiously every day. And I love those channels. If you're on YouTube a lot and you want, like, to have, like, it's not background noise, but it's, like, really good background noise. It, like, helps me work, helps me get through cleaning the house, but it's actually shit that I want to hear and listen to. It's not just background noise, but... So check out the Deep Fat Fried fucking podcast. They have enough old stuff, if you've never heard of them, to get you through, like, a fucking year. Like, they've been doing it for years. Or whatever. I'm just listening to this shit, so... And they post new shit pretty regularly. So, shout out to Amazing Atheist and Deep Fat Fried. What else? Oh, yeah, shout out to Caitlin Doherty, the, Ask a Mortician. I'm watching a lot of her videos right now. That's kind of what inspired this video. She did one about, Alive in a Funeral Home, where this one girl named Tamisha or whatever, I guess she had, like, cerebral palsy or whatever, and, the fucking EMTs or whatever, paramedics, pronounced her dead because, you know, it's normal for people like that to have breathing problems, and so she was misdiagnosed as being fucking dead, and they took her to the funeral home, but her eyes were still, like, open or whatever, and essentially they would have embalmed her and drained her blood if her eyes would not have been open, you know, but not necessarily, because, like, Ask a Mortician was saying, like, people can definitely tell between dead or alive bodies. And, like, for me, an example, you know, I found my grandma dead in the backyard with the hose still running. She literally had her arms like this, and like this. I'm not going to use the other hand because I'm holding the camera. And her face, all the blood had drained to her face because she was upside down. Not literally upside down, but she was, like, face down. So all the blood had drained to her face. So, like, you can tell when someone's dead. So, or, like, I've seen multiple of my sick animals put to sleep and everything, and you can tell when something has died. You know, it's very depressing, but it's definitely a feeling. You can feel the lack of energy. So it's kind of amazing that someone would do that, but it kind of brought something that's kind of interesting to me into my head. Is you never seen the movie Awake? It has that, what is it, Christian Penance something? I don't know. The one, like, girly looking dude that's in Hayden Christensen, that motherfucker. He's in Star Wars, one of the Star Wars movies, but he was in that, and his, like, deceiving ass, bitch ass wife, like, wanted him dead, and he had a heart transplant, but he was actually awake during the surgery instead of asleep, so he was totally conscious and trying to fight for his whatever, and he heard their evil plan and shit, you know. So, I mean, but that's about being, like, awake under anesthesia and feeling all the pain, which actually, from a lot of Shane Dawson videos I watched and just other research I've done into the matter, like, that happens a lot. For me, when I had my surgery, like, my appendix ruptured inside of my body, obviously, because that's where it is, but, like, I don't remember any of it. You know, that was one of the times I was put under. The other time was when I had my wisdom teeth taken out. I woke up in the middle and started laughing and taking all the shit out of my mouth, and later on I ended up ripping out my stitches because I thought it was dental floss. But long story short, that's just about being unconscious, but it's just trippy. Like, there's a lot of accounts of people actually being alive due to medical error, you know, and waking up in funeral homes and shit, and being alive because, like, what your body says, your body lives after your heart stops beating. You still have about 7 minutes. I mean, like, of brain activity. That's what I learned from Freddy Krueger movies, actually, but it's actually a scientific thing. So it just, and that's when all the DMT and stuff is supposed to rush your brain and make you have, like, the flashbacks of your life and all that fun stuff. You know, like, really give your mind a woohoo and a final, you know, goodbye, I'm assuming. obviously one day we'll all experience it, but we won't come back to tell. So it's kind of like, what's that gonna be like? Like, because, you know, as most people know, as I'm, you know, atheist, lightly satanic atheist, satanic light, you know, but I don't believe there's anything after this. You know, after we close our eyes, that's about fucking it. But I wouldn't be opposed to the idea. I'm not saying there's a God, but maybe we might go on another plane of existence. I don't think heavens or hell is a thing whatsoever. It'd be kind of cool if it was, because it seems like more dramatic and would make life kind of more interesting, you know. But I'm just not the one to believe in it. I've already told you guys the story before, but yeah, just not my thing. But so, like, just life after death scares me, but that's always been a fear too, is like, how would someone know that I died? You know, like, what if I just stopped breathing and have like a really weak pulse, you know, and then they started fucking autopsying me, or my mom actually did like a medical thingy because she was a phlebotomist, or medical technician, something, I don't know, but I think you had to draw blood on people, and like you got to see it part of an autopsy or something. She's telling me like your brain looks like the inside of a pomegranate, which I was like, that's fucking interesting. Still eat pomegranates though, but yeah, it was kind of gross to hear. But like, just seeing from other shit too, like they crack your ribs open with fucking tree pruners, like all this other shit. I'm like, holy fuck. You know, what if you were alive during that shit, you know? Or like in the movie R.I.P.D. where he died or whatever, like the old country looking sheriff dude, he died, and you know, he could feel it was a comedy, but he could feel the coyotes that eat him and shit, you know? But like, what if that's the case? Like, what if your conscious body does die and shut off, and your energy just kind of floats around or goes somewhere? Because like the Grudge movie made a valid point. The original one, the new one is fucking terrible. Holy fuck. I can't even describe how terrible that fucking movie is. But like in other stuff I've looked at, other paranormal shit, it's just like, what if, you know, if you die in like a really horrific fucking thing where you expel a lot of energy? Because I mean, some people die in their sleep, some people are shot in the back of the head, they don't know, you know, some people, I mean, whatever. But say you commit suicide, or say you were violently raped or stabbed to death or something like that, like something really fucked up that, you know, want to avenge, kind of. Like, I could understand all that energy being placed in like an enclosed area or wherever you were, but like I said before, I don't believe you actually will see a ghost or an apparition. I just think like that energy is there, and our brains are all fucking magnets and metals and chemicals. That's what we're made out of, you know, fucking stardust and shit. Like, you take magnesium to calm down, that's a metal. You take iron to build your blood, fucking metal. You know, iron builds buildings. Like, I don't know, it's just very interesting to me. But it's just like, we're just fucking electricity. We're different little electrical things firing off your nerves and stuff. And like, you know, when a wire gets like crimped and shit, like, shit doesn't work. I have carpal tunnel. My wires are fucking crimped. They don't work that well. You know, I can't control that. But it's, I don't know, it's just interesting that when you think about the body and death, because there's so many interesting questions. Like, I don't believe in ghosts, I don't believe in, like, Bigfoot, I don't really believe in the supernatural kind of shit, but it definitely fascinates me. Like, it's definitely more interesting than fucking, oh, what's on the news today, or what's the weather, or oh, this movie, or that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'd rather be interested in something more morbid and that makes me think, versus just something that it's just like day-to-day bullshit, you know? I'm not really the type of person that's like, oh, hey, how are you? How's your day? How's work? What's this? What's that? Oh my god, I give a fuck, because I don't. You know, it's just like, I'd rather have a deep conversation where even if we fight in the conversation, like, hey, let's talk politics, let's talk religion, let's talk about what happens after we die, let's talk about decaying corpses. What kind of music do you like? Do you play instruments? I suck at it. Do you suck too? Cool. Let's talk shit. I'm fucking fat and ugly. Cool, you know? What does your tattoo mean, you know? Like, I'd rather have conversations like that, or talk about my animals, because my animals are basically 80% of my life, you know? But yeah, this doesn't really have a point, you know? But it's like, now they're just life, so you know, it's all good. What are your thoughts?